you've had a lot of different lineups to deal with over the last couple of weeks. Has there been one sort of common challenge, and how have you and your staff met that challenge? You've been relatively successful without two of your better players and, with guys in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, I don't know. It's clearly a challenge when you have Ben and Joel out, Joel and Seth out, Ben, Seth, and Joel out, and you're still winning games. I think our guys know what we want to do every night, how we want to play. I thought tonight we searched for individual matchups and went ISO way too much for who we are. And so I thought we kind of lost our formula during the game tonight, but we hung on to still win the game. But that's been the challenge. It's really challenging when, you're human and a lot of guys are out. And so you're on the floor, you start thinking, I can do more. And we don't really want that. We just want you to play the way we play, and it all work out for himself.
See quite a few hands. We'll start going pretty quickly here with Kyle Newbeck.
Hey, Doc. So you went with the small group very briefly in overtime late there. Did you give any thought to playing that group together earlier in the game with the way they were in the paint?
Yeah, we were going back and forth on it on the bench. Our concern was they were destroying us on the glass. And so that's what gave us a lot of pause. It was a great opportunity late because we were coming out of a timeout with an offensive possession, make or miss. We felt like we told them we didn't have a timeout anyway, so we were going to have to play fast. And playing fast with a small lineup and space in the floor would benefit us.
Nice, Doc.
Let's go to Keith Pompey next.
Hey, Doc, can you just talk about Danny Green's performance in that overtime? I know Tobias made those foul shots, but Danny fit all right in there.
Yeah, Danny saved the game for us. He was the only one, in my opinion, that kept his composure. Just we made mistakes. The game should have never gone in overtime, and let me just put it that way. And so you could feel our energy. It wasn't a good energy. Guys were down. They were mad. They thought they had blown the game. I kept telling them we're going into overtime. That means the game is tied. And Danny was the only one in the huddle. Guys, we're going to win the game. He just kept saying it. So he went out and did it.
And Doc, I know this is probably something that's the furthest thing from your mind. But, right now you guys are 30-13. That's the best record for 43 games the Sixers had since 2001. Just your thoughts on that.
It was great. Listen, we have to have it if we want to have a great seeding. So, when you factor in the amount of games that our key guys have missed, and to have that record, that's something the team should be very proud of, for sure.
Thanks.
Two more, Austin Krell, Sean Barnard. Go ahead, Austin.
Hey, Doc. Kind of felt like down the stretch in regulation, the Knicks were doubling Tobias out of the post more.
Yeah.
Did you kind of feel like with that lineup that included Ben and Thibault, there was a bit of a trade-off with the defensive side and the offensive side?
Yeah, but, it's not football. So we obviously didn't have a chance to sub back and forth. I thought our defense was more important. At that point, we had a lead to get stops. And honestly, Austin, our rotations in those traps were horrendous. They really were. No one moved. No one cut. So I told our guys, they were very lucky that I got to go see Austin and my new grandbaby. I was in a very zen mood today. Because this is one of those games that you don't know how many mistakes we made in the last 5 minutes of the game, last 30 seconds before overtime, first 3 minutes of overtime, and still won the game. That's the good thing.
All right, last one to Sean.
Hey, Doc. A tougher game for Ben tonight, ended with 7 turnovers and struggled a little bit. Do you think this is a credit to what the Knicks did to defend, or is there anything else that went into that?
Yeah, you always got to give your opponent credit. You really do. You got to respect them. Tibbs is doing a great job. They're physical. They get into you. They have great active hands. So, some of that might have been Ben missed the game, had a couple of days off, but a lot of it was New York for sure.